It's high time to draw the line, to put an end to this game before it's too late. Head games. It's you and me, baby. Head games. I can't take it anymore. Head games. I don't want to play
anymore.
The head games.
The head games. That's Foreigner.
No, it's. I'm pretty familiar with it.
Okay. This is great.
You know what it is?
That's a song by Foreigner.
No, it's OPINIONish on psychology. Hey everybody, I'm Mitch English.
Travis Dale.
And we thank you so much for joining us today. We got us a great episode. Here's the thing though, it's the first time though, Travi, we've brought in some class into this room, man.
We have a lady.
I know. And so I'm like watching, like, you know, I'm like, and I'm like, okay.
I wore
can't fart
a collared
for like
shirt.
an hour.
I wore a collared shirt.
Yes.
We dressed up.
You did, yeah, you were all nice. I go, you know what? I'm going all dressy. I'm going to look really hot.
Rocking the bulge. That's that Italian bulge.
My green pants I got in Italy. You like them?
Yeah, man, they're loud, just like you.
They're like, yeah. I wanted something that just stood out. I went shopping one day because Enzo and Liza decided to desert me on our bike ride. So I go, hey, why don't you guys just take your bike ride? And so then I went and parked and I walked around and I was like Pretty Woman the entire time.
Oh, yeah?
I bought clothes and everything.
It's nice to feel pretty sometimes.
I feel pretty. Well, clothes are my thing. And actually, I want to talk to our guests a little bit about this before. I used to be, as you maybe remember, I used to be very, very fat. And clothes were something. Yes. My hand got, yes. I joined the army like Ox in Stripes.
Yes.
And I lost a lot of weight. No. And I went, and so now when I go shopping for clothes, first off, that's all I want is just clothes, because it was one thing that I could never get that felt good on me.
Yeah, you feel comfortable in your skin now.
So
you look great, man.
Thanks. Well, I appreciate that. And that was not trying to pull out, you know, telling me how awesome I look.
Yeah, you don't pull out.
I don't. 4 kids will prove just that. Before we go into the locker room talk.
We already did Father's Day.
Yeah, we already did Father's Day. And we're going into the locker room talk. We got a great guest for today.
Yeah, I got to mind my P's and Q's. We do have a friend of the show, a friend of us, in here today, and I'm not sure what we're talking about. What are we talking about?
We're talking about psychology.
I kind of minored in psychology.
Did you really?
Unofficially at UF. I majored in journalism communications, but I did a minor. And actually, I've been studying psychology since 2nd grade. Probably, I've been a student of it.
I think that's partly what I want to bring up today is just like if we understand psychology and therapy and that sort of thing, so we become better because then we understand other people,
Yeah,
right?
check it. I'll put it in practice.
Please do.
Hey, Mitch, I really like those pants you got from Italy.
Thank you.
Psych. Got him. Got him. See? Back from the schoolyard, buddy. I've been doing it for years. Your pants are just okay.
Okay, well.
On a second.
That hurts a little bit more. Yes.
Phone calls.
Yeah, you got a phone. Hello?
Yeah. No. Oh, really?
Travis is.
Oh, that's rough stuff. I'll let him know. Hey,
what's up, man?
It's your grandma.
My grandma?
She said she died. Psych! Got you good. What a dummy.
Why do I fall?
She passed decades ago.
She did, actually. And now you really brought down
Sorry
the show.
about it, man, but we'll get into it. We'll dive deep. It's about abandonment issues.
So we should think about this sort of thing because some people can take life a little bit different than others. And joining us today is, as mentioned, Travis had mentioned, a good friend of ours and a wonderful personality. And I don't just throw this out. One of my favorite women in the world. I tell you that all the time because if anybody understands me, I like them. If anybody's funny, I love them.
Yeah.
And I love it. Here's Deanne Schulz-Perry joining us.
Hey.
Hello.
Thanks for gracing us.
You knew me when I was just Deanne Schulz.
Yes.
That's how far we go back.
Oh, wow.
And the Perry is something you added on since, and your husband, highly successful high school football coach.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's a stud. Scott?
Yep.
Love that guy.
State champion.
Yeah.
He can hold on to that for a while.
How many more names will you be adding, though? You're just going to stick with the 3?
Doesn't it sound more credible to have 2? Like with the 2 last names?
you-
Yeah,
That's
it
how we're
does.
doing
Do you put a hyphen between the 2?
I actually do.
Okay.
we gotta
I
edit
did
that.
I did not
Sorry.
put it together correctly. Then I'm sorry.
That's all right. But you look like one of
drop it.
Barker's beauties in that picture, and isn't
Doesn't
that
she look
great?
great? Yeah. She's always looked beautiful, always, all the time. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and, you know, when you worked with us, she kind of was, your office became my little patient office. Where I used to come in there and we just talk about all
You
kinds
lay
of stuff.
down.
I wouldn't lay down.
What's that, a casting couch?
Now that I think of it, I don't know if we should tell these
What's
stories.
happening?
No, Deanne, but tell us about what you do now and a little bit about how you want to make this world a little bit better place. Or do you want to make this world a better place?
What it is, so when I was with you guys, I had graduated with a communication degree. And so that was kind of my background. I worked at UCF and did a lot with like interpersonal communication and teaching classes for like 14 years. Then after a while, you talk to people about, let's say, fighting, how to have better communication, how to fight less, things like that. That's communication, like what you studied. But then there's psychology, which is the why underneath. So I always wanted to know the why on people do things. So I went back to school and then got a second master's degree in psychology.
Nice.
Wow, and we should say allegedly, right? Because I've not seen any certifications. I haven't seen a badge yet. Aren't legally you're supposed to show us a badge, right?
Is that right?
I think so. Because, I mean, you're not wearing glasses, you don't have a goatee, and you're not smoking one of those old-timey curved pipes.
Yes.
So why should we believe a word you say?
Exactly. Where's the coat with the patches on the elbows?
Yeah.
That's what I
Funny
want.
because they made us watch those videos in school of all the old like Freudian. You're right. And they had pipes. They used to smoke in sessions.
Right.
But, yeah.
What do you think because of that? You look back on psychology. It's changed, but I mean the principles are always the same. But it's changed the way we get better or discover ourselves, or what is that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's the same, right? The whole, like, how does that make you feel?
Right.
That's what we think of.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the reason that we say that is because it matters, right? How you feel. And so that kind of stuff, has withstood the test of time. There are some newer things that we do, like psychedelics are really big right now.
Whoa. What's involved with that? Like LSD?
It's
PCP.
Well, you're the expert, but I wholeheartedly microdosing is incredible, and it rewires the brain. But I don't want to jump on what you.
I mean, it's not my area of expertise really, because it does involve like a medical doctor and prescriptions and things like that. But just that magic mushrooms and the other things that can help people go into like traumatic things from their past.
And doing some studying on that as well, and I'm not joking around, is that they also say it's okay to take those psychedelics in small doses, microdoses,
moderation.
But they also say it's much more important to be able to talk through it and understand, because what's happened is literally it rewires your brain. But if you don't know, okay, why am I feeling the way I do, and you're not talking about it, that's why it works so well with PTSD, things like ketamine and that sort of thing, is that because if you can, all right, well, here's the issue, I just don't know how to put these two together. And the ketamine is supposed to allow you to do that, but you have to talk about it first. It's not automatically going to bring that. Am I right or wrong?
You're totally right.
Okay,
and then there are ways of doing that as well that are like a little bit more accessible to people. Like if you've heard of EMDR, that's the one where you might have noticed the eye movements.
That's ASMR.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Not that.
Actually, no, it was just me eating. I didn't know what you guys. Go ahead.
But that's the one, with soldiers, PTSD, we can like use rapid eye movement and bringing up memories from the past. Like that's the kind of thing that you could go into an office like right now and do it today. So it's like I say, it's more accessible than like, psychedelic drugs, which.
By the way, are you holding right now? Because I noticed the bulge. Is that what that is?
Looking at my bulge?
I can't stop looking
Now
at it.
I'm
It's looking at me, Mitch. But I should be full disclosure. If you are holding, I am wearing a wire, so I just want to let you guys know.
I'm not holding, and if I did, it would all be legal. We feel there, men especially have resisted as far as time goes up until contemporary times of actually getting therapy and getting help, and we're starting to see more and more men do it, which I love to hear about, and me included, and I can say that. But there was a time, I tell you, but the first time I was highly against it because I thought, no man, I don't want anybody to think I'm crazy. I don't need to. I could just talk about it to anybody else, and you couldn't talk to your buddies about it. Things. Yeah. I'm lucky enough to have a best friend that I could tell him anything, but I think I'd agree. Sure. You just come and stare at my bulge and I tell you my problems.
It's great to have an ear to bend, and it's a friend that you can rely on and confide in and stuff. And is that essentially what your job is?
Can we say like own your? Do I say stuff or do I say like the naughty word?
I think the naughty word would be much better for this show, but whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah, like okay, you got to own your shit, right?
Own your shit. Okay,
and so you've got to know.
I thought
yourself.
for sure he's going to say bulge though.
You got to know your bulge.
Okay, know your shit, and because they're gonna have questions. And I'm coming to you as a source, and I'm coming to somebody that is that has studied this. So you're going to have a better understanding than maybe just my best friend would.
Well, like you have to own your shit. I mean,
is that what you're saying?
My
okay,
shit, but
sure.
you have to own your shit, right? You have to know, and that's what sometimes takes work, right? We have to know what makes us tick, because a lot of times we run into the same problems over and over and over, like Do you have the same fights? Like most people have the same fights with
Right.
their partner over and over and over. It's like a perpetual problem. And we just kind of accept it, right? Like this is how it goes. But
This is marriage. This is what you're supposed to do. 100%.
it's hard work and all of that kind of stuff. But like nobody really goes, or a lot of people don't go under the surface to say, well, like, why is this happening? What is my hang up? What am I bringing to this situation? Right.
Yeah.
And so with therapy, and so you say this about like men not going, like, I mean, I'm a therapist, so I've got to believe in therapy, right? And so, like, I'll drag my husband into therapy. I mean, here we go. He's, football coach, raised with 3 brothers, like, just around dudes all day. But sometimes we'll have something where we're just, like, not getting out of it. And I feel like, I mean, it's not like this is a mental illness we're going in for. Like, we have everyday problems that we go talk about. And we get somebody else's opinion. And 99 times out of 100, well, we haven't been there 100 times, let's say 6 times.
Yeah.
Like maybe once a year, once every couple years, we'll go in about something and we'll talk. And like Scott will admit, like, yeah, that wasn't bad to like get an outside opinion on this, right?
Yeah, and if you think how that has changed generationally, I mean, in the 50s, it would never been heard of.
No.
But we all know our problems and owning our shit, owning our stuff that we have. Like, hey, look, I know I'm this way. I don't want to be this way. I want to make
Yeah.
some changes.
Can I say shit?
You cannot, because
Oh, sorry.
I don't allow it. Let's talk a little bit about what we know about psychology, a little bit about pop psychology. We're seeing what's the latest trends, and a lot of people go into social media too, it seems like, for this kind of psychology stuff. Your thoughts on that?
Good and bad. Good because it exposes people to psychology. They become interested in it and they want to learn more. Bad, they kind of misuse it. Like nowadays, if somebody doesn't agree with what someone else said, they're going to accuse them of like gaslighting, right? And they're kind of using terms wrong. Like everybody's ex is a narcissist. And so
It's overused.
It's overused.
It loses meaning.
Yeah. Narcissism affects like maybe, 6 out of 100 people. So really,
What is the definition of narcissist?
okay. So this is the catch. Any of these, like psychopath, narcissist, being OCD, they all have really specific criteria. And it's not like you can just act this way sometimes. It has to be like a pattern of behavior over a period of time and really specific. So like, let's say narcissist, and I've got my list here, like grandiose, right? Self-important, preoccupation with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, or beauty, a belief that they are special. So this is where the catch is. Like, we all want to feel special, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, it's the over the top. Like, I need to be more special than you. I need to be more special than everybody. And if I'm not, look out, we got a problem kind of stuff.
Okay.
Requires excessive admiration, a sense of entitlement, exploitative, lacks empathy, envious of others and believes that everybody's envious of them, and then shows arrogant behaviors and attitudes. So there's 9 things. You got to hit 5 of them to be a narcissist.
5?
5.
I know somebody that has every one of them from
Right?
my.
I think we all
Okay.
do.
Now, let me ask you this. I had heard, and again, I'm popping this on you. Can a narcissist be cured?
A narcissist is never going to go for help, right? They're
That's
gonna
the thing,
think
right? Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
else is the problem. So they're not going to come into, like, I don't have anyone who comes in and says, I'm a narcissist and I'd like to work on that. That doesn't.
My therapist, because I was accused of being one, and I believed it. I was like, man, yeah, I really want to work on it. And she had told me that. She's like, no, you're not, because you are here.
Yeah.
And it actually, man, that was my light bulb moment, because I was like, yeah, I am working on myself. And a narcissist would never do that.
Never.
Even if you have 3 out of 5 or whatever, a narcissist doesn't understand. So, wow, you think about that. Now you start evaluating all the people that you hang around that you might think are a narcissist.
Right. So those guys are just jerks.
Yes.
They're not necessarily narcissists. They don't meet all the criteria.
Yeah.
That's interesting. People throw that word around a lot. I hear gaslighting a lot too.
Gaslighting, which is a thing that a narcissist would do, right? Is gaslighting.
Absolutely, right? And you kind of question your reality. Like,
Right.
they'll switch things around. Like, okay, so let's say somebody's late. Somebody's late for me. Instead of just being like, hey, I'm sorry I'm late, they're going to say like, hey, don't be so controlling to expect me to be here on time. You know,
Right,
why come down on me? They're going to like kind of switch it around.
They're not owning their shit.
They're not owning their shit.
I think that's the
is-
word.
yes.
That's what it meant.
Can we change the name of this?
So the beginning of it, though, I didn't want to own any of it, but I had to. It is something that affects a lot of people, is narcissism, but it shouldn't. It's not the go-to overall thing. Do people have tinges of it? Because even if, as you went through some of those, I'm like, I kind of do that.
So it's got to be like they call it a pervasive pattern of behavior. Like we have to see it over time, all the time. And, you know, it's not just like, because again, we're all selfish. Like we just are. We have our own needs and we're out there trying to, you know, satisfy our needs. It's kind of more like when people are willing to trample somebody else's needs, to exploit them in order to get what we want. And then we would see this happening all the time, not just once in a while.
Okay. And, you know, and then also, as you said, that a lot of what you said is marriage. It is, I mean, it's going to be in every marriage, some kind of tinge of that, I would imagine. And it's just knowing that, okay, there's some issues there. Let's be aware of them so we can not just push them to the side, right? And correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going off of like things that I've gone through.
Like when you say that, I have a client who she's about in her 40s and she's dating. She's never been married. And she met this guy and she's like, he's a great guy, but he's been divorced 4 times, right? So she saw this as a red flag. But I mean, my question, because you never know, right? So my question was like, well, what did he learn from that? From being married 4 times. And her answer was, you know, that he picks the wrong women. They're all psychos. I was like, okay, but statistically, that's pretty, like the math ain't mathing, because he's the common denominator in all 4 of these things, but everybody else is crazy. Right. So it's kind of like if he would say, if he came out of it saying, you know what, you know, I was a workaholic and I'm a slow learner. It took me 4 marriages to get this right. Okay, he's learned something, but when it's everybody else's problem, I mean, that's a red flag.
Yeah, you guys start looking inward a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just said the N word.
You can
we edit that out?
The N word.
I don't even touch any of them.
AINWARD.
Let's please move on.
All right. Okay. I don't want to get canceled here. My concern that I have from about therapists, psychologists, and psychiatrists, how do you go home at the end of the day? And you have to compartmentalize. Yay! I want to stay away from that world. But that to me was part of my problem is, okay, I'm here. I was one person here and I was another person there.
Yeah.
And so it seems like counterintuitive as for a therapist. I mean, and obviously you don't have to go personal with this, but I mean, is it a difficult thing to do after hearing all these problems all the day and then go home and then and deal with other problems at your house?
Yes. They call that secondary trauma. Somebody can tell me something that happened to them, like as a kid, maybe they were assaulted by somebody, you know, who mattered to them. And it's like, I can't just...
You're an empath, you think? Or?
I can't let it go. Now, my cousin's a therapist, and she can just endlessly take on everything and go home at the end of the day and be fine. But
that's psycho to me. I'm sorry. That is psycho.
She's the psycho.
It's a gift, right? And
so it is a gift.
I don't have that gift. I mean, I learned early on I can't work with kids because the first child, teenage girl I worked with, who had pretty much run-of-the-mill problems, like she was, you know, not connecting with her peers and felt lonely and isolated. And I came home that day and put my head down on the table, and like my family was like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "I'm not okay." This poor girl, and I said, "I can't live like this."
And there's, imagine, a limited amount you can actually even talk about too. You know, you can just saying, "Hey, I had a bad day at work," or like. Let's say I'm talking to you guys. I try to anonymize things, right? And try to say, so if I might say, you know, I have this woman who's in her 40s, then she's actually not in her 40s. And if I say she works in tech, well, she doesn't work in tech. She's, you know, a waitress. So I try to like make the details different and but maybe just to talk about the problem itself so that, you know, I'm not giving any. Deanne describes me as her good-looking TV friend.
You are.
No, because she says
names and dates have changed to protect the innocent.
He's not good looking, but he's on TV. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about what we know and what we see the most of is psychiatrists, psychologists, if you will, on television or in movies as well. And we usually... you know, we see them and we see in a half hour or 1 hour they've cured somebody. You know, the CSI effect. You know, do you look at those kind of things a little bit different? Are you trying to, because it's a character? Obviously, you don't know too much about it.
You mean like, do I believe the shows?
Or just like to me, if I watch a movie that's about a TV newscaster or whatever, and it, you know, they don't talk or they don't look right. That's the whole time I'm thinking they're doing.
You're
this
looking,
wrong.
you're watching. So do you watch shows about psychiatry or anything, and you recognize it like they're doing right or doing it wrong?
Absolutely. I mean, most often I see things like when I think about shrinking, I think, well, wow, they would lose their license for that. I mean, it's fun to watch, but
they cross a lot of boundaries in that show.
Goodness, yeah. I mean, I think, isn't that the one where doesn't the therapist bring the guy to like
Jason
live with
Segel,
him?
he brings the guy home.
I mean, we don't let patients live
No.
with us. You know, it's
At
not a
all.
good thing to
It's
do.
played for laughs. I mean, it's a dramedy, but they do cross a lot of boundaries. I think Harrison Ford's character is a little bit more actual professional. He has professional boundaries, but yeah.
And a little bit what I was teasing about that earlier was the fact that things have changed. The way that I would imagine, I mean, I've seen the show almost every episode. You know, there's different styles of
Yes.
being a doctor. I guess
Right.
that's what I was kind of
Yes.
alluding to. And it's kind of changed where he's kind of the old school way of treating, and then Jason Segel is something different.
Yeah.
He's the,
Right.
he's the boundary crosser. Like, didn't he crash a date also? He went and like showed up on somebody's date
Yeah.
and then, yeah, he would tell a lot of people what to do. I think he told the one girl to break up with her boyfriend.
Right, and she ended up
And
pushing
then
him off a cliff.
that cliff. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and then he was there all along trying to bail her out.
So that's not a great example. Have you seen some that are authentic, that actually are good examples of psychology in film?
So, actually, it was Melfi, right? Sopranos, Dr. Melfi,
Oh, yeah.
was that her
Oh,
name?
Sopranos,
Yeah.
huh?
A
Lorraine
lot of
Bracco.
people, I mean, there are people who have written complete books just on her and whether
Really?
that was an accurate depiction. And most often, people will say that's like the closest you can get to doing a good job because she sort of didn't buy into Tony's like manipulation.
Okay, sure.
She never got like too close with him. I mean, I think, I think she got him to kind of go into his past and talk about his childhood
Yeah.
and things with his mom. So I think she was kind of always considered one of the good ones. Good Will Hunting, Robin
Oh,
Williams'
yeah.
character.
It's not your fault.
It's not your fault.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's
yeah.
not,
It's not your
Mitch,
fault.
it's not your fault.
It's not your
Oh,
fault.
well,
I
maybe
don't
it is.
care. What are you talking about? I don't
Right.
care.
However,
It's not my fault.
yeah, we're gonna stop short on that. Wasn't he like grabbing him by the shoulders and shaking him or something?
From
at
all
one
I
point?
remember
was an
that one,
embrace. It was an embrace.
Yeah. Oh, was
but
it? Okay.
it felt like he needed to because he wasn't getting it. And
Yeah.
he needed. And that's. I felt like his character was a tough kid,
Yeah.
so he needed.
Yeah, that
but I'm
trauma.
not a psychiatrist, so I don't know.
But the hugging, like the embrace, I mean, that's another thing. Like, I'm a mom, right?
Yeah.
And I want to hug
You're a
people.
hugger.
Sometimes
they need a hug, but
You
that's
know,
a boundary you can't cross.
I mean, I probably shouldn't say. There have been times where a hug has been wanted and needed
Yeah.
and asked if, but typically you shouldn't be hugging clients.
No.
Okay. And again, I think because you want your clients to understand you that this is what you're there for, and nothing really beyond that, and it can cross over. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard because you meet people who are the kind of people you'd want to be friends with, and I think that's another thing that happened a lot in Shrinking, where if you blur those lines between friendship and client, they call that a dual relationship. It can be really hard because then who am I? Like when I'm with my girlfriends, I have like what's called idiot wisdom, like girlfriend wisdom. And
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
say like they'll tell me about something their husband or boyfriend did, and I'll be like, "That's terrible. You don't need to put up with that,
Girl, do you
Oh,
say
yeah.
that? And scratch your head, go, girl.
You deserve
won't put up
more.
with that.
Exactly. That's me with my girlfriend wisdom, but you can't do that. Like
Right.
in therapy, I would, be a little more wise than that, and I would talk about what happened and why did you feel this way and how did you get to this point and all of it. So
Is it hard to resist that urge to fall into that?
yes,
Okay.
absolutely. I mean, in both ways. Like
Yeah.
with my girlfriends, sometimes like I do want to put on the therapy hat and really get to what's going on underneath.
Do you
the
charge them
surface.
afterwards?
Right? I get their insurance card. and bill
Make sure
them.
the
Yeah.
insurance is taken care of. The question you kind of somewhat alluded to is, why do you feel that way? Like from what I've learned through my therapy it was really just a lot of questions. And I felt like my therapist, who I love, that she kind of like she understood that I am not going to understand it until it happens to me and I say it. Like
Yeah,
somebody could be
exactly.
talking to me and I'm like, yeah. But then she goes, well, why do you feel that way? And then they sit there and let you talk and then you say it and you're like, oh yeah, that's why.
Yes,
Like
absolutely.
the connection is made.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about psychedelics.
That's why therapy should never be somebody giving you advice because
Yeah.
you know the right thing to do,
Yeah.
right? Like I can tell you, like let's say, you have a drinking problem, alcoholism, and you know you're not supposed to drink, so we can do all of these things, to tell you cut back on your drinking or anything else, but like the person knows, and so they just have to sort of like really start to feel instead of think.
Okay. Now, is that playing head games where you're trying to get them? I mean, professional head games by
Yeah.
all means, but that you're trying to get them to ask that question to themselves.
Let me give you a better example.
Okay.
So I work a lot with moms who are like suburban mom kind of problems. I mean, I'm
Sure.
a suburban mom, right? And so one big thing might be, my kid's going off to college or leaving the house and I've got to learn to like let go, like let the
Yeah.
reins go, loosen the reins and things like that. But like they can't stop worrying, right? Moms do this. We worry. And so I can say, stop worrying.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Or I can try to build some logical case for why they shouldn't worry, or give them examples, or come up with statistics, how the odds are in the kid's favor. But like, moms won't, we don't feel it, right?
Yeah.
We can think it, but we don't feel it. So kind of to your point, Mitch, is like, we want to get them into like one step further. Well, like, okay, what would happen if you didn't worry about your kid? And they'd be like, you really got to sit in it. Like
Right.
they think. And they're like, well, I don't know. If I didn't worry, I would feel like a bad mom, because like, what if something happened? And then like, I hadn't like warned the kid, I would feel like it's all my fault. And if I feel like it's all my fault and I'm a bad mom, like I can't go on. Like that's who I am. I have one job in this planet, to take care of my kid. And so like, I have to worry. Like it's a necessity for me to worry. Right. So that's kind of the type of therapy that I believe in, which is everybody's symptoms make sense. Like people aren't crazy. People drink for a reason. People worry for a reason. And so I always start with, instead of like, let's talk you out of worrying, let's talk you out of drinking. No, let's kind of reverse engineer this. Why is it important for you to drink? Why is it important for you to worry? Like, let's go deep into all of these things and see why, and kind of understand the belief underneath, because all of us have these like hidden rules that we operate by, right? And so if we can that's where all the muck, like that's where the problems are. So again, if I have this idea that says, I need to worry or else I'm a negligent mom, then I'm just going to keep worrying, because to not worry makes me a bad mom, right? So we have to keep going into a hidden rule. Like you might, in a marriage, you might have as an example, like, you can't make mistakes. Like, I don't want to make mistakes. Like, I don't want to, then I'd be a bad person if I'm a kind of person who makes mistakes. So then I might always be like fighting and never like really understanding your point of view, because I don't want to be wrong. Because if I'm wrong, that makes me a bad person, right? So you get in underneath to find out kind of what the person's hidden rule is. Like if their hidden rule is, well, if I make a mistake, I'm a bad person, then they become maybe a fighter or something. Does that make sense?
100%. I think that the more therapy you do, you start understanding that. As you were speaking, I thought of, I moved around a lot. I moved from here to Pensacola to St. Louis to back here. And so I had to get different therapists and everything. So I sat down and I go, all right, here's my deal. This is what I know I'm dealing with, yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, all right, now help me out. Not in those words, but it helped me. So, instead of them having to going from the beginning, and then you understanding that.
So you had to like break them in, like getting a new barber.
Much, that's what. Exactly what it's like. Yeah, because you're like, look, I want it a little bit off the back here on the side. This is what's going on.
That's how I like my therapy.
It 100% is. And if you think about it, at your barbershop, you're talking those things out. And as you talked as well, I could see how excited you are about the fact that you're helping somebody. So that's got to be really rewarding, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's a connection, right? And that's why when you say like warming up to your barber, like a lot of times people will go to a therapist and it's not, the first one is not right. It's not a good fit. And that's okay, because it's a relationship, right? And you're not going to click automatically. So I think people should shop around and find the person that they...
And telehealth is just as effective as being in the same room?
I prefer, well, I'd like to ask you about that.
I mean, I think for a lot of people that's preferred. But if you have a specialist or someone you're connected to, like, I think it can work. I mean, it's up to the individual. We're also used to communicating like this, virtually.
I think it works for me because I went to her office and then she moved away and I said, look, I really, she's like, okay, cool, we'll just do it. And I'm like, I'm cool with that. I want to talk a little bit about, by all means, you can't necessarily diagnose, but we were talking about pop psychology and that sort of thing. And we're going to give you some, basically some disorders that are happening, and then maybe you can kind of describe them. We're going to talk about how they are in the movies.
Yeah, such as accurate.
And the accuracy from what you know. If you don't know the film, it's quite all right, but we are going to give you examples. First off, institutionalization is actually the final, I would imagine, probably the last resort.
Yeah, what does it take to get institutionalized?
Well, you could institutionalize yourself.
Oh, it's voluntary.
Yeah, you could. You could be a danger to people in your house or people around you and get Baker Acted in Florida. I mean, that's a Florida thing where you would be, brought someplace, and that's typically.
Do they still do straitjackets?
Oh yeah.
Actually, yes.
Yeah.
I will tell you.
Really?
I saw this recently. A woman in our town was unruly at a bar.
Yes.
And
it's to protect themselves and others.
yeah, they had her.
We saw that in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
Girl Interrupted was
Yeah.
another example, and then
Well, a lot of these celebrities get have won Oscars for playing these types of characters with disorders. Angelina Jolie got a role for The Girl Interrupted. She has, I guess, a sociopath. I don't know. And then schizophrenia, Russell Crowe. Beautiful Mind. Got an Oscar for that one too.
Yeah. Explain
Natalie Portman
in its simplest terms.
You know, I got to tell you, that's a tough one for me. It's a cluster A, and a lot of times these are the ones where you see medication involved and things like that. And a lot of times, so a psychiatrist is the MD who will prescribe medication. I'm more on the talking side, so I've actually never had I was
going to ask if you've encountered any of these disorders, because you said you're more suburban mom problem.
Right, exactly.
Can they go from like, where, had they just talked things out, maybe we wouldn't have to go to a psychiatrist and be medicated and that sort of thing. I mean, or is it something just chemical imbalances in their body?
Yeah, and there are some that you would really benefit, because you hear like the phrase people will say like going off their meds. And what does that mean? It means that they really become having a difficult time. So there are some disorders that really require medication, and it makes it easier on the person. And there are some that there's not much we could do with medicine.
Deanne, how do I know if I have OCD? I tell people, I'm OCD. Like I've gotten out of the car, driven down the road, and I'm like, okay, I didn't touch the lock before I left, and I come back to make sure I locked it, and that sort of thing. Is that OCD?
I think of Jack Nicholson, As Good as It Gets, another Oscar winner. Remember that he couldn't touch anything. He had all these tics, but it's not something that's a danger to other people, but it's debilitating for people who suffer from that. Have you encountered OCD before?
Oh yeah. That is, I think, probably one of the most misunderstood disorders.
Okay.
Because a lot of times people think...
I think everybody feels like they have a little bit of OCD about something. I'm very tidy, and I like certain things a certain way.
I don't like my pencils.
Oh, you don't like that? You don't like that? Does that bother you?
Yeah.
Am I triggering you?
Yeah, it's like, those are my pencils. Leave them alone. But then I'm like, am I just an ass because I don't want him to touch it?
He told me, we're going to do an episode on pet peeves. He's like, I don't like people smacking gum, so I came in with gum.
I hate
that
chewing
could be
gum.
misophonia. That's the
mesothelioma?
Yeah.
Right.
I saw a commercial on that. There's a number you can call. You can get representation.
Tell me the name of it.
Misophonia. And it's where people who really, it's not just like, I don't like the sound, like mouth noises.
Yeah.
It's like, I am enraged. I'm going to hurt somebody. Yeah.
Do I enrage you?
If I see somebody using my pencil, I'm like...
I just grabbed a pencil because I needed something to write with. And then he went on this whole thing. And he's like, I'm gonna let it slide. And I'm like, what did I do?
And I go, I just don't like anybody touch my pen. I gave you one, so I was like, that way I know.
Which one's mine now?
I don't know. The one that has
They're
less
both mine.
I don't
Guess
know.
what? They're both mine.
Oh, all right. Probably you can't say do I have OCD? People also throw it out saying, oh, I'm OCD about this, but they just throw it out, candidly. But your diagnosis or what your understanding is of OCD.
Does it get in the way of life for you? Does it make you...
when I stop down the road every single time and I have to go back and check the lock on the car, I think that I have, I wouldn't say every day, I'd say maybe not 8 out of 10 times.
Okay. And
I have to go check the lock.
When that happens, where do you go from there? Like, what's your feeling after that?
I feel like an idiot. I knew that. Why can't I? And then I'm down on myself. I'm like, man, what? Man,
but you can't quiet the voice in your head telling you,
hey, no. And I want to circle back to about the voice in your head. When you guys read, do you hear your voice?
Yeah, I think I do. I don't know. I don't know if I hear it.
Like if you're reading a book, do you hear your voice?
No.
Huh. Actually hear my voice?
You guys don't.
No, but I read something.
Oh, Mitch, this is bad.
No,
this
I don't.
Is really bad.
This voice doesn't say anything bad. Hey, you're freaking me out, man.
I'm gonna back away slowly.
Okay, but I think I don't know what that voice in my head is because I'm also Liza gets onto me because I talk to myself all the time.
Oh yeah, I think everybody does that. Or you rehearse things in the shower in front of the mirror. That's normal.
All right.
But the voice in your head that everybody you got voices in your head. But like when I read or I'm driving, I'm thinking in my mind and I can hear my voice. You guys don't do that.
You're aware that it's...
I guess.
It's
I don't
not
know.
telling you to do anything bad, right?
I think you hear yourself talk too much and it's a second nature at this point.
Maybe that's... in all honesty, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But I get worried. I'm like, well, what if it tells me to do something bad one day? And I'm not joking around because I know it's a serious thing, but I honestly...
You have a conversation with yourself?
I have conversations with myself all the time. Yes, 100%.
Okay.
And I usually lose the argument. I don't know how.
They bested.
I never win. Okay, so OCD is just something where if it gets in your way, gets in your life, it's affecting your life.
Let's start with that. Yeah,
Okay.
that's always, it's kind of any problem, right? Where you say, like, is this an issue? Or, I mean, well, yeah, if it's getting in the way of day-to-day life, we're going to use that as a starting point. Like, go talk to somebody then.
Is it possible for a human to, or a man, woman, whoever, to have a equal day and is in the middle of the 4 quadrants, meaning, and I'm alluding to bipolar or depression, okay, is that we have up days, we have down days. Is that normal? And then
days,
how do I know
yes.
if it's normal or not?
Is it disrupting your relationships? Can you have a relationship? Like, are there complete meltdowns where, you know, you're moving out of your house because you can't get along? Is like you can't hold down your job? That's what I mean by getting in the way of life. Like, you don't wonder if this is a problem. You know it's a problem because life is so hard for you and for the people around you.
Well, those days that I'm down, then like I forget about them when they're up because it seems like I'm extremes. And if you said that, you would go, well, he's bipolar. But I know I'm not bipolar. I've gone to doctors about it and we've talked through it. But I concern myself with some people might think that, you know, maybe they're depressed and maybe they just were, you know, some days caffeine kind of keeps me up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that I guess that's a physical thing. Is
Yeah,
it something to talk to a therapist? I keep interrupting you. I'm sorry.
No, if you don't know, what's the harm in going to talk to somebody, right?
Okay.
But you also know, like, does it go on and on? Like we say, are there patterns to this that it's like repeatedly happening? You know, if you're waking up, you know, depressed or upset, you know, 3 months out of 4, like,
Okay.
yeah, that's not good, right? You need to go talk to somebody about that. But if you're saying, hey, some days I feel better than others, some days I'm a little bit down. Is it situational? You know, I mean, people face losses in their life. It's normal to grieve, right?
It's okay. I mean, I think actually it's healthy, right? I mean, you should.
Yeah. I mean, all the emotions.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay to feel. A lot of times we try to, like, put down normal human emotions. Like, jealousy is a normal human emotion. Like, do you get jealous? Like, that's okay.
That's a good point.
Do you go,
Okay.
you know, follow your spouse to work and hide in the parking lot and watch them?
Okay.
That
Just
might be a
once,
little
okay?
too far,
Just once.
right? So, yeah, kind of like almost like a moderation thing.
Yeah.
Like, you have healthy feelings or healthy ways to behave with those feelings, and then like ways that you know, hey, this isn't right. This is a problem.
I think a lot of that, and the reason why we're trying to bring movies into this sort of thing, because we sometimes identify and,
Make it more relatable.
and for bipolar disorder, Travis picked out a great one with Silver Linings Playbook.
Bradley Cooper's character suffered from that. He was Oscar nominated.
Oh, yes, there
Yeah.
are. Yes.
And
Oh,
you would do a
goodness.
number 2. Is that it?
I've done number 2
Three.
right after I lose here.
Right after the show.
I do think at one time they want to put me on Depakote and for a bipolar. I go, I know I'm not. It's just I know I have up days and I have down days, and I just want to be normal all the time.
But depression is very common.
That's the point. I think that's probably what you see a lot of. Am I right, Deanne? Or
Depression?
Is that safe? Yeah,
Sure.
Because I mean that's
Yeah.
the
And
that's
anxiety.
easiest.
Yeah.
Tell me what anxiety is.
How do I
If
simplify
it gets in my way of life.
If it gets in the way of life. You've heard this
Is it
before.
worrying? Is it constantly thinking about something? Is it being compulsive about those thoughts?
To the extreme, like, I mean, we talked before about OCD, like the O is the obsessive thinking, like rumination, if you've heard that before, like your mind just keeps cycling through the same, you know, maybe worry over and over that you just can't break out of that loop. And also that you might have some like really unhealthy ways to cope with it. Like we talked about before, drinking, right? Or shutting down, like going within, not talking to anybody about it. So again, that's where it would like disrupt your life.
And so everybody has those problems throughout the day, or maybe at work or whatever. So I mean, we all have levels of anxiety, I would imagine,
Yeah.
right? It's just how we're dealing with it.
Yeah, or how long it goes on for, or how intense, right? It's if you looked at it like an alarm, like a smoke alarm. A smoke alarm can sometimes be really sensitive. Like you're like, oh, I burnt toast and my smoke alarm's going off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're hypersensitive to things like our alarms go off quicker. We call that like a window of tolerance, you know, how much you can handle, like within the window. Some people can handle a lot, other people can't. I mean, we're all different. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. You just have to kind of, you know, realize that emotions are normal, right? They happen, but they shouldn't be so extreme that they disrupt your day.
Right.
Where would we find the anxiety in the movies?
What about Bob, Bill Murray? They played it for laughs, but he had a lot of phobias. Is that qualified? Is
Yeah.
that under anxiety?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's an interesting one. Again, phobias and OCD, a lot of times what they'll do is it's exposure therapy, right?
Okay, yeah.
So you put the person in the situation that they fear most. Spiders, you know,
throw them in a bucket of spiders on top of her head, right?
But that
That'd be
it is
awesome.
interesting.
Do you guys have phobias?
I hate snakes. I mean, but
That's Indiana Jones.
The devil. That's why
You don't like snakes, but can you
cannot
be-
stand snakes.
You can't be in a room with
I
snakes?
cannot be in a room with snakes. I got catatonic. I had to do a thing on TV one time, and I was like, I could not move. I was so afraid of the, you know. And I'm like, get it off. But spiders, I'm fine with. I've got pictures of me with 10 spiders.
I think I'm fine with most things. I feel a little claustrophobic sometimes. I actually feel like I had a panic attack once in an MRI machine. It was a closed one.
Okay.
And I had to talk myself through it. Like I was already 20 minutes into it, and it was like a long one. And I'm like, I had the button in my hand. I'm like, don't hit the button. I was like arguing to myself, talk about voices in your head. I was like, dude, just relax. And I feel like I couldn't get a deep breath.
That's interesting.
And it was just too tight. And so now I can only do open MRIs if I need to go do one. But yeah, I had a little mini panic. I'm like, I don't know. I didn't know what was happening. It was it was foreign to me. You know, so
Well,
have you ever dealt with anything like that?
I mean, they make open MRIs for a reason,
For a
right?
reason,
You're not
yeah.
alone. So I think that's, you know, pretty normal
Yeah.
to feel that way. And you only have to get an MRI every once
Sure.
so often. So probably wouldn't necessitate you going to a therapist for it. And
Right.
Yeah.
But now I know, like, I can only do an open one. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to do that again. Yeah. I don't
Why
like
put
being
that pressure on
confined
you?
like
Right.
that.
Yeah. I know this is a little bit further into more of a psychiatry sort of thing, or is a dissociative identity disorder. Just
Oh, wow.
know it,
Yeah, you're really going into the
So
biggies.
again, then this is
Yeah.
something that obviously would take medication, that sort of thing. But we see that in some movies.
Fight Club. There might be a little spoilers, that movie Identity with John Cusack. So this is a little bit giving away the ending a little bit. But yeah, there was. It's a spoiler. I don't know if it really reveal it. You've seen Fight Club, right?
Oh yeah.
We don't talk about
No,
Fight
but we
Club,
don't
though.
talk about it.
Yeah, we're not allowed to
on
talk
the
about it,
show.
actually.
Sorry.
So let's move on. But yeah, borderline personality disorder. Are these all above your level that you don't really deal with these a lot?
No,
or do you deal with
borderline,
those?
I have quite a few borderline.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Really?
clients.
What are their names and addresses?
Madonna is.
This is one that pops up. I don't know if you guys have seen that Maternal Instinct show that was just on Netflix.
Holy crap, Deanne.
You guys were
Yeah.
telling me about this.
Dude, it's scary, sad, and the whole time I was watching it, Deanne, and I'll let you continue on, but I was like, the pressure she had to be under to keep the lie going, that it gave me anxiety. You know what I'm saying?
What happened?
So you tell the story.
Well, I can say she has borderline personality disorder because a psychiatrist later testified
right,
against
right,
her
okay.
and
Yeah.
said, or testified about her and said that she suffered from this affliction. Terrible. She, I don't know.
So she was pregnant. It'd probably be safer if I say. So basically, in the documentary, she wanted. First off, she had 2 kids, and she met this guy who was a pig farmer. Right? Didn't have a lot of money,
Right.
And she told him she was pregnant. She got pregnant. Kind of lock him into a relationship, and she went all out. I'm telling you, with the gender reveal and did all this, crazy stuff.
She's not pregnant. She was lying.
Not pregnant at all. Matter of fact, the doctors that basically cared for her were like, because of HIPAA laws, they couldn't tell anybody that this lady is not pregnant at all. Well, anyway, yada, yada, yada. She met somebody that was pregnant, wound up killing the woman and stealing the baby. The show starts off with her holding the baby in a car. She got pulled over and said, my baby can't breathe, yada, yada, yada. And she would not break the lie. And then they come to find out she had several iPhones that she would call to text people. She took out like almost $20 million worth of, in her, as far as all of her scams go, $20 million in investments. Like she was going to buy these cars. She actually bought like a $100,000 truck, and she was going to buy all this property. And they have to believe it. Right? They have to keep, because
so
they
deep
can't
into
just
the
go,
lie.
right. And there gets to that point, and then so far, I would say beyond the borderline. If you think as deep as she was, did I
Yeah.
correctly kind of diagnose, or not diagnose, but explain it?
Yep. And so borderline typically is like an attachment rupture, an attachment disorder. So, she really wanted this guy in her life as the father so desperately that, she was going to do anything to hang on to him. So someone with BPD, by borderline personality disorder, is so afraid of abandonment and of losing someone that you see like these extreme behaviors, like you see impulsivity, you see like really big disproportionate actions as compared, right? Like her responses were like huge.
It was, and this guy it wasn't a millionaire, so he wasn't trying to attach it. But now, as you said that, I didn't even take that really into consideration, is that she just did not want to be neglected or rejected or anything like that. And he wasn't really in love with her, but this all happened within a matter of months. Yeah. And she went all the way up till she was. They go, look. Even everybody's like, she's not pregnant. She's not pregnant. But you can't prove it. She went and bought the fake stomach and the fake bulge. Like she got in the same place, and also went and bought like when you scan sonograms, fake sonograms. I mean, she went all out on it, and then you're like, well, why? Now that makes a lot of sense.
What's the name of this series?
Maternal Instinct.
Yeah. And it's on
Netflix. And it's the whole time you're shaking your head.
So it's like a true crime.
True crime actually happened in Texas, and she went to Oklahoma, and so when she got pulled over, she went to a hospital thinking that it was going to be far enough where they wouldn't know that this pregnant lady. That was the mindset. I was like, how are you going to think that this pregnant woman who doesn't have her baby anymore, and then all of a sudden you get pulled over? She's not thinking right.
Yeah.
Well, I probably won't watch it. You guys just spoiled it for me. So
she's a ghost,
and I only watch Tubi anyway.
It's Fight Club. Tubi. Very good. Good choice.
Yes.
Chris Noth in any of those movies?
I don't know. I mean, something like that, maybe, probably. Some true crime, some true noth.
I love talking about this, Deanne. There are some things, though, I'd like to circle back to before we get to what about the narcissist or not, is talking about how AI is changing psychology, for the good or bad. I feel every time I go in and type in anything on AI, it tells me how great I am and is that yes man and makes me feel good. Is that giving me a false sense? And there are people that go to AI as a psychiatrist or a psychologist as well, I would imagine, right? Tell me your thoughts.
It causes it's such a big stir in our industry, in our profession. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's wonderful that people who are isolated and confused or need more information have a way to get information. I know there are extreme stories out there of people who have been told to harm themselves and things like that.
By AI?
Yeah, a kid here in Orlando, matter of fact, an 11-year-old kid. I'll tell you about it later. I don't want to bring the show down, but it was an 11-year-old kid, and he killed himself.
Yeah. So
oh my God.
I would need to know more about that.
Well, I guess what I'm saying is people relying on AI for therapy instead of actually seeing a human and be able to help out. Do you know what I'm saying? I can imagine there's a level.
Yes.
Where would that level be, I guess?
So, I mean, I would rather have them see a human, but I think there are some people who might not go in and get the help that they need because, like you talked about before, gender, you mentioned that men might be reluctant to go in. If that's the case, I like to think that they would have access to information that they could, learn more about what could potentially be wrong, but I would like them to see a human. But, a lot of people will say, it's a threat to the profession and like the what ifs, like, well, gosh, nobody will ever, seek out help from a human again. And I don't think so. I think it's a way to get info.
As long as it's informational and helpful. But it could be a danger. I mean, isn't there a danger of people going to WebMD? Like we talked about for years, self-diagnosing.
That's a good point.
But as long as they're trying to get answers they recognize there's an issue and they're trying to get answers somewhere. You
would hope that AI, I do know that they are really putting a level on if you type in something about hurting yourself or whether AI is supposed to move in on that. Okay. I bring it up because it seems like AI comes back with just questions, and well, why do you feel that way? Yeah. And which are common, which I understand now once I understood what the purpose of that was. So you gave me a response I wasn't really expecting, but that's good that you feel that way.
When I've kind of tested it and typed things in, I thought the answers were solid.
Is your AI? You give it a name? You have a name for your AI? Does he have a name?
I use Claude. Isn't that his name?
You call him, mine's called Scarlet. Well, mine I use ChatGPT, but I've given her name. She talks to me. Her name's Scarlet.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why did you pick Scarlet?
She picked it herself. I said, "Give me your name." So when I talked to her, she goes, "Okay, you can call me Scarlet." And I said, "Give me a little." I gave her a little bit of a Southern accent.
Yeah. So you're not a narcissist. You let her be who she wanted to be.
Oh, congratulations, man!
She makes me feel great about everything. Let's talk about narcissists. I thought we'd go through a little bit. I'm going to give you a situation, and since there are so many misconceptions of what a narcissist is, and not every ex in the world, whether it be, can women be narcissists?
Yeah, absolutely. More often it's men, but women absolutely can be.
Why do you think that's the case? That women?
I don't know why that is.
You think they just won't? Men will say I am who I am, and maybe women are more emotionally attached, or the men think on logic and women think on emotions.
Let's do that. I like that one.
I love how you go.
Let's go with that.
Is he in love with himself too much? Or just a jerk who don't give enough? Narcissist? Or just a jerk? You decide who's really worse.
Well, I'll let you add to the list. First off, they interrupt every story to tell a better story about themselves. Is that a narcissist or just a jerk?
So here with this one, there are so many people that have social anxiety,
Yeah.
right? And so maybe they're trying to relate and they're just like awkward,
right?
So, or like, do they have to be the center of attention? That's what I would want to know. Like, what's kind of behind it? Do they have to be the star all the time, or?
Okay. I think having social anxiety sometimes, which I suffer from sometimes,
Really?
is that the only thing you know a lot about is yourself. So you want to talk about yourself.
Right.
Right? That's me.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I'm doing it right now.
Well, some people are having
No,
a
but you're right,
conversation.
yeah.
They're just waiting for the other
Not
person to
about
stop
me. Is that
talking.
I'll do that. Yes.
they're not even
and
listening.
The thing about that is,
Yes. So they're using like Travis says, the launching pad for you to go back and talk about
because it triggers a thing that you want to say next, but you're not really listening to what I'm saying. You're waiting to jump in for the moment. And that's kind of what we do here on the show.
no, we do, and it's a skill that you have to understand as well. You know what I find out doing? I look at their teeth.
Yeah,
I look at their teeth.
staring
and
at my chompers.
But the only thing is, I'm looking at what you're saying when you're talking about it. It's nothing like I'm just like that way I can concentrate.
The greatest tool we have for communicating is not our mouths, it's our ears. We need to be listening more, and that's why that I think I don't have that kind of social anxiety. I'm surprised you say you suffer from that.
I can be in front of 1,000 people. No problem at all, man. I can be up there, but one-on-one, I think that I'm not interesting enough, and they're judging me.
You
the
feel
whole
like
time.
you start just talking too much. Yeah, I noticed.
Tell me what I do. I do it here on the show. All right, what's our next one?
Let's see. Never once admitted they're wrong in an argument. Narcissist or jerk?
Okay, so obviously, we're looking for patterns and things like that. That one isn't great, right? Because the idea behind a narcissist is they actually have really low self-esteem. Most people don't realize that, right? Because they're grandiose. But what they're protecting is like feeling shame. A narcissist never wants to think like that they're bad or they're wrong or any of these things. Like that's why they're doing the things that they do. So if they're, never acknowledging that they're wrong, I mean, that's not a good sign, right? Like,
so that's one for the narcissist.
Yeah.
All right. They go on vacation. They take about 14 to 50 selfies of themselves.
Okay.
Narcissist or just a jerk?
I think, wouldn't that make like every 16-year-old girl a narcissist, right? I mean, with all the pictures, I don't know. Like maybe they're excited about their vacation, right?
Look at me. Nothing's real on Facebook anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess, again, I'd want to know the backstory. Is it more like, because they're so important, because they're superior, they go to places that nobody else could go to?
Yeah.
Like, look at who I'm hanging out with. Look at my yacht. Look at my clothes. Look at, is it like that? Or
I think, let's say that it is. Let's say, look how great my life is. It does look like they're hiding something, but it seems like the more I see that, it really shows me that's what they want the world to see, which tells me, all right.
It's just all dressing.
all dressing.
But don't we all put that, like, I know, I mean, with Facebook, I put
your best foot
who I want
forward.
to
Yeah, right.
or who I want to be seen
You're not
as.
going to put an unflattering picture of yourself.
Yeah.
You're going to show, what cool stuff I did.
But then on the opposite of that is like, hey, need some love.
Yeah. Or you're fishing for compliments.
Yeah, and then you don't say anything else. Need love.
Hey, send me love.
So that's the question, right? What do they do if they're not getting enough likes? How do they handle it? Like,
Severe depression, probably.
then there's a problem.
Yeah.
All right.
What about if they constantly name drop famous people they met? Mitch, you're going to have to. I did. That's a Freudian slip.
Yeah. Okay. Well, answer that. They have to. It sounds like that's closer to like self-importance.
Yeah,
when
I
you
mean,
name drop.
right? We talked about that superiority, and it's the idea that, again, alongside other things, but like if they were just trying to show that they could only associate with important people because they are an important person, and they could only be understood by important people, not a good sign.
We should mention, anybody listening to, again, all of these are, again, there's several different things you need in order to be classified as a narcissist.
5 out of 9.
5 out of 9, which is a lot. They get angry when someone else gets more attention.
I am going to not like that one very much, just because you use the word angry, right?
Okay.
I mean,
Go in detail. What do you mean about that?
I just think that you know, we all like to have positive attention, right? We all want to
Oh,
have
100%. That's why I
good
hang
things.
around you. You're always giving me positive attention.
I mean, so that's a good thing. But when you say like not getting it actually stirs up anger in the other person, like I would be interested in knowing why.
It sounds like jealousy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it has to be stemming from that at least.
I mean, and that's, you know, on the list, right? Envy, severe envy, or the idea that others are envious of them is like never a good sign if it's taken to the extreme.
All right.
They expect compliments but rarely give them.
I would say the problem with that would be a problem of what we would call reciprocity in a relationship. Like it would be normal that you compliment your wife sometimes, she compliments you sometimes. You know, to have it always be one-sided, I would wonder about that, you know. Again, that they couldn't, what would be the reason why they couldn't acknowledge the other person or good things in the other person?
What about if they actually give a compliment and expect when they just to get one in return?
Right. Yeah.
Like, hey,
That was a good question.
nice shirt, Mitch.
They refuse to apologize because, quote, that's just who I am.
Okay. I don't like this one. I don't
Why?
like a lot of these.
Too general?
No, I don't mean I don't like the question. I don't like the person.
Person that doesn't. Okay, so
Yeah.
this would be the jerk at least, minimum.
Oh yeah, minimum of jerk, because I mean we kind of go back to like we all you gotta own your own shit, right?
Yeah.
So if there is something about you, why is it that the rest of us like are you entitled to be that way? That doesn't seem quite fair. If you know this thing about yourself, why aren't you adjusting to it?
What about when they get upset if their birthday isn't treated like a national holiday? I tell people like, if you want to be disappointed, like try and have other people plan your birthday. I'm like, just people just want to be told when and where, and they'll show up if they care about you. Like so many people I know, they're like, oh, nobody's celebrating my birthday. I was like, just make it happen. Plan something for
Yeah.
yourself.
There's nothing wrong with that. You're
Yeah.
allowed one day a year, right?
Right.
Trav and I, our birthday's one day apart.
Yeah.
Oh really?
So that's October 1st and
I'm
2nd.
first, he's
so
the second.
Could
so-
you do a combined party? This will tell me. if
100%.
you're- Okay.
Well, we're
yeah.
telling you, so you throw the party.
Oh,
down.
okay, I get it.
Thanks, Deanne.
They cry whenever they're confronted about their bad behavior. Maybe not even cry, but they react when they're told about their bad behavior.
I mean, listen, I'm a crier. So if you confront me with something I've done wrong, I might legitimately feel bad about it. I might cry because I am actually sorry. I mean, do I have tears? That would probably be a good indication, right? You know, the people
Yeah,
who have
yeah.
like the red eyes but no tears come out, you know?
They're the butterflies, is that correct?
Yeah.
An ugly face. All right. All right, we're about to have fun on this one. This is our rapid fire. Okay.
Okay.
Now this is no thinking. Okay. Well, you think, but as fast as you
Stop
can. All right.
thinking.
And then remind everybody at home, this is just a personal opinion. This has nothing to do professionally. Okay.
Okay.
But so
Disclaimer.
disclaimer. I just want to let everybody know if you might do one of these, you're not diagnosed.
Okay.
Does that get us
Yep.
out of trouble? All right. Here we go. You ready? We're going to go quick with these.
Okay.
Here we go. Refuses to return shopping carts. Narcissist or jerk?
Jerk. Can I tell you something about this really
Please,
quick?
yes.
Yeah.
Do you guys know who Lee Corso is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
like that
He
sports
lives.
guy that puts the heads on and picks
He
the
looks like
cheers.
he looks like Mel.
Very old. Mel Brooks.
Yes.
Yeah, he's very old.
He lives by
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
And
yeah.
he like I saw him grocery shopping and I saw him, I mean, he's like 80 or
Yeah.
90 years old, and I saw him go out to his car,
Didn't return
put his
the car.
groceries, and then I was like, okay, one of three things is
Okay.
gonna happen. He's gonna like, you know, bring the cart back into the store. He's gonna bring it, like leave it in the parking lot where it's supposed to go, or he's gonna just like walk away from it. What is he gonna do?
dear.
And I was like, he walked it back.
Yes!
Walked it all the
I
way
know.
back?
He did. And I
Like
was
to the store?
into the store.
And he's
he-
very old.
Yes.
Andrea and I have a thing. You tell me everything about you when it comes to shopping carts.
Yeah.
I know everything about you. Now, granted, if it's pouring down rain, there's circumstances. But if I see you leave it, I know everything about you. I don't
Right.
want to deal with you.
What if
I
you
agree.
pop it up on a curb
No,
or something?
no.
Oh, that's the worst.
No.
That's the
laziness.
worst is just like letting it drift into
You
the
know-
parking lot.
Well, I guess that's true. But even still, somebody still, you got to go get, little Jimmy to go over and pick it up and take it back. And, listen, it's a social contract.
Right.
It's
I
free
will-
to buy. That's why Aldi, you have to pay.
I do a little bit of
your
all,
carts.
to be honest. It
Really? What
depends
do you
on the
do?
circumstance. Sometimes I've had kids in my car. When my kids were younger, and it's a hot car. I put them in the groceries in. Now I got this thing, and I'm parked far from where the return thing is. I'm even further from the store.
Well, you're
I
a
will
bad
pop it up on the
dad.
curb. No, but you know what I also do? I see somebody unloading their groceries and they're done with their cart. I will
Yeah.
take their cart. I'm like, hey, I'll
done
take
that.
that for that. So now I'm a good guy.
Oh,
No.
So that's what I'm saying.
No,
It depends on the
You're an
circumstance.
inherently bad man.
No, but I will
because
get
you won't take it back.
if I'm close to the return thing. But most Publixes or stores.
Okay, Publix, there you go. You can ask for help. They'll walk it out there for you.
I don't need their help. I would rather them stay inside. I can load my own groceries. But if they want to follow me and take my cart, that's fine too. But they have only 2 return things, and if I'm parked on this aisle, I got to walk 2 over. That's fine. I'll do
Can I
it.
put that under
Yeah,
circumstances?
diagnose me. I think it's circumstantial.
Would you do it if? Listen, there's obviously going to be things. I have done that. Now I haven't had kids in the car, and you shouldn't have to worry about that.
Right, I gotta
now,
lock
dude.
my car, and
Wait
I
a
got my
minute, hold
kids
on
in
a
the
second.
car, and now I gotta walk it back inside. I'm not gonna go back to
your
the store
kids are
unless I'm gonna
teenagers,
shop
man.
more. No, I'm saying back in the day.
Well, then you were a jerk then, and now you're not.
No, I wasn't.
Deanne's the one playing this game. I'm sorry.
No, are you still here?
I mean,
Oh, hey.
listen, I want to know the why, right? Why are you
Oh, you're
taking
right.
up 2 spaces?
All right.
That's what I want to
Right.
know.
Jerk or narcissist on that?
Jerk.
Jerk. Okay. Watches videos on speakerphone.
Has this actually happened?
Oh yeah, airports. I've dealt with it.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, I mean, that's jerkish.
Jerkish.
Yeah, you put your earbuds in.
At
What are you doing?
100%. Even on airplanes, they'll kick you off nowadays.
Although we have to have a
just rude.
disclaimer for old people, like they don't get it, right?
Yeah,
they
the
don't
tech,
understand.
they don't understand,
I
yeah.
saw like an older lady. I went and saw that Michael Jackson movie, and she took a FaceTime call.
Every call with old people is a FaceTime call. They love it. Every call is a FaceTime call.
That's hilarious.
Why?
They don't tip. Jerk or narcissist?
I mean, that could be cheap.
And that's,
right?
and that's
It could be-
cultural too. They
yeah,
don't tip
European.
overseas, and
That's
they
true.
don't allow the speakerphone stuff overseas
It
either.
could be broke.
They're more considerate.
They also don't have shopping carts. They have bodega, small little supermercados.
You got to bring your own bags.
Brings a guitar to a party. Jerk or narcissist?
Really, I like that.
It's a stud.
I think that's great. I mean, well, it depends. Like, are we all just hanging out, and all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, here's Wonderwall."
He's waiting to like do it. I
That's
don't know.
the-
That's a party starter to me. I don't know. Could be.
Travis is always the good singer.
I don't know how to play guitar, but yeah, I'm always waiting to like grab a microphone.
Good.
Says actually after you say stuff a lot.
Oh, like correct the people that
they're-
correct you.
Well,
Oh
actually.
my gosh.
Jerk or narcissist?
I can't say narcissist because my husband is that, but I think that's like his dad's like an engineer. They're very big on like getting
Yeah.
things exactly right. So like if I say, "Oh, we went to that restaurant 2 weeks ago," he'll be like, "Actually, we didn't." And I'm like, "I know we went there," and he's like, "It was 2.5 weeks ago."
Actually, I'm probably guilty of that.
That's
then.
would drive me crazy. Hey, Deanne, thank you. Will you come back and
I
maybe
will.
talk
Thanks for
more?
classing up the
I
joints.
love that. Yeah, I love having you on. And I love that you're excited about it, and I love anybody that just they love what you're doing. I can tell.
It's a very
I appreciate
enlightening
that.
episode.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you guys.
And it saved me, believe it or not. I don't know
Yeah.
if you know, it's about $500.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like a whole hour.
On this whole thing. I don't know,
How much do you charge? Yeah.
Very good. Thank you, Deanne. And if folks want to find out more information on you, where can they go? Can they book a session? Do you do sesh on?
I do sessions, but I actually right now what I'm plugging is Dial Down Worry, and it's for
Okay.
parents of college students to help them with the anxiety because kids are going off to school
Yeah.
right now. So I have a little
I like
program
that.
for people. Yeah,
And you've got experience by.
I do.
Well, that's all.
Is there a website for that?
dialdownworry.com.
Okay. Before we got to do it quickly, but what you watching on TV? Are you watching anything?
watch-
your TV show?
Everything that's documentary on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have Maternal Instinct.
True crime stuff.
You watching
Dude,
something?
I'm started Widow's Bay because you recommended it. It is hilarious. You're right.
You will love it. If you like Widow's Bay,
Yeah.
I'm watching Maximum Pleasure Guaranteed. It's along
Cinemax?
No, it's actually on Apple as well.
Okay.
And it's on the same vein. It's well written. It's basically a mystery. You don't know what's going on the whole time. Watch Maximum Pleasure Guaranteed.
Will do.
And any documentary as well. Thank you so much. And a reminder at home, of course, if you ever go shopping, take back your shopping cart.
Or not.
Or not. It doesn't matter. Thank you for joining us. We have new episodes that come out every Wednesday. Of course, join us online. Just look for OPINIONish on social media. Our website, of course, is opinionishpodcast.com. I got one.
I got one.
You got one?
Yes.
Psych.
You don't know what we're talking about. Bulges. Oh, and opinions. This has been
That's it.
OPINIONish.